That the Gab account is pro-immigration, pro-lockdown, leftist views. Is that accurate?
I haven't seen it directly, but I believe, from what I've been told, that is accurate. With the Gab account, we're also, though that's been publicly revealed through the CIO and other things, we're still working to certify and verify that that's his account also. But it does have differing points of view, it would appear.
Okay. And what age and how fresh is that Gab account?
The Gab account, based on my recollection, the comments in there or the messaging is from about 2021, I believe.
Okay. And the other preceded that? Maybe he was age 14?
Yes, Senator.
So that's interesting. Last week they tried to paint the shooter as some kind of MAGA conservative, but now, and we'll share with you the details from the CEO of Gab, it turns out it was somebody who was pro-Biden and pro-immigration. We salute that lady from digging for the truth, and we welcome her as our first guest here on America First. Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, welcome back to Salem.
Good to see you. Thank you so much, and thanks for covering that hearing we did yesterday.
We're going to cover it and so much more. We're going to talk about the legislation that you have brought to the floor, the Support Kids Online Safety Act. But first, I've got to ask you a question as you're on the front lines digging into what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. Are you satisfied with the answers you're getting from the Secret Service and the FBI? And how much danger do you still think President Trump is in? Because we have 3 more months to go.
We do indeed, and I'm very concerned. You know, the Secret Service tends to do things. The one thing they do is counterfeiting, investigating that. The other is personal protection. And in that portfolio, they have 31 individuals they're responsible for. The president, vice president, their family, former president, and then high-ranking officials who may have received death threats. When the Secret Service gets things wrong, it's not like a bad day at the office where somebody overspends their budget or misses their casework totals. You know, Sebastian, when the Secret Service screws it up, people die. And that is what we saw happen in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now, for us, there are questions that are unanswered. We want to know about the planning document for that event, about the day of work for that event, and questions, how could a 20-year-old have flown a drone and visited the site multiple times before the event and nobody knew anything? How could he have been online doing research and nobody picked this up? How was it that the Secret Service identified a suspicious person an hour before President Trump was shot? At 5:51, he is tagged as a potential threat. At 5:53, sharpshooters are alerted, and somebody cleared President Trump to go on that stage at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, these are all questions that we want answers to, like figuring out if this is something that is systemic or if this was a one-off. And that's the reason I asked Secret Service Director Rowe yesterday about the whistleblower letter that was revealed yesterday morning. And then, of course, the accusations that it was removed from the Secret Service website and from their server system during that hearing. And we are waiting for Director Rowe to give us the answers on those questions. But the whistleblower said basically the mission of the Secret Service is to play CIA. And that is a concern to us because their mission is to protect the individual and keep them from getting harmed.
We read the letter from the whistleblower yesterday where he said that there will be another attempt on the president's life and the people responsible for the catastrophe in Butler need to resign or be fired. Now let's turn to what you've been doing to protect not the president and VIPs in America, but America's children. You've been on the show several times to talk about the Kids Online Safety Act. What is the latest update, please, Senator?
The latest update is that COSTA made it out of the Senate yesterday, a 91-3 vote. 72 senators are co-sponsors of this legislation, and it puts the responsibility on big tech to do safety by design, to have a duty of care, to open up their algorithms, to have a toolbox for parents and kids to create that safer environment, and to have a portal where kids and parents can report bad actors in social space, pedophiles, drug dealers, sex traffickers, bulliers, and then it requires the social media platform to respond to that and to go through an annual third-party audit to be sure that they're complying with the law.
Well, I can't remember the last time there were 70 plus co-sponsors for a bill in the Senate. What is your expectation in the House, and when can we actually have this bill put into law?
The House is going to take it up in September, and we look forward to getting it across the finish line and to the president.
Well, God bless you, Senator Marsha Blackburn. Please follow her right now and express your support for this crucial piece of legislation. Blackburn.senate.gov, and follow her at Marsha Blackburn. And also check out her book, The Mind of a Conservative Woman. I'm Sebastian Gorka. This is America First. We will be talking to Peter Navarro next. Super excited about getting my former White House colleague on air in front of millions of our fellow patriots to talk about what happened to him inside the political prison that he was placed in by Biden's DOJ. Also, your calls, the number is 833-33-GORKA. That's 833-334-6752 to sound off on the topics of the day. Make sure you never miss the deep dive interview, the long-form discussion that we value so much here on America First, and I know that you enjoy so very, very much. Subscribe to the podcast on whichever platform you prefer, whether it's Salem, Apple, Spotify, or Stitcher. Just plug in my name, Sebastian Gorka, America First. Leave us a 5-star review, and then share the links with your friends. To remember what happened in Buffalo, and to spread the word that you are on the side of the president, you want him back. We put the iconic image of him with his fist raised on a t-shirt, on a mug, #TrumpStrong, available at sadgorkastore.com. And to raise the flag on what a vote for Kamala means, our latest item at America First is a picture. It's two-faced. Kamala on one side, Biden on another. 4 years of Biden is what you get if you vote for Kamala Harris. All that and more at sadgorkastore.com. That's SEBGORKA store.com. And you can support the president directly, most important of all, at DonaldJTrump.com. That's DonaldJTrump.com. Sebastian Gorka here. In light of recent events, we Americans need to have our heads on a swivel, not just with our personal security, but with the security of our financial assets. I'm talking about your home title and hard-earned equity. That's why I want to tell you about Equity Protect. They're the only company that completely stops cyber criminals from stealing your title, property, and equity. Most title lock companies only monitor your title for changes. Equity Protect completely stops these financial crimes from happening to you. If you own your home, mortgage-free, or have high equity, you need Equity Protect. Equity Protect is offering a magnificent deal for my amazing listeners. 30% off your first year. Go to equityprotect.com/Gorka and use the discount code GORKA30. Remember, once you have Equity Protect, you don't even need to check. I trust Equity Protect. You should too.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-TERM-LIFE. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-TERM-LIFE. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-TERM-LIFE. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-TERM-LIFE. That's 800.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and thinks you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you've had a case and how much is potentially
it's a little hot.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Take advantage of this opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Call now.
No.
800-504-8790.
No, I usually sit over in over in American Canyon, the little like the Bayside. Sometimes I just go there just to sit. Yeah. It's still starting to get a little like warm, like, but yeah. No, it's still, yeah. Oh, that's salvating. And I'm going 6 miles an hour. How does that? I don't have to tell you where I'm going.
Join me on an unforgettable cruise to the Caribbean this November. We'll cruise to the vibrant islands of Half Moon Cay, Curacao, Bonaire, Turks and Caicos, and much more. We'll be joined by special guest Sean McDowell, and we'll both be sharing insights into current events in a way I hope energizes and challenges you. Secure your spot before space runs out by calling 855-565-5519 or book online at RagerCruise.com. America First with Dr. Sebastian Gorka on 860 AM. The Answer. President Trump, and Sebastian is really a friend of mine. He's a great guy. He's been with me from the beginning. Listen to him. We all learn. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you kindly. And if after you've done your 3 hours of learning on our show every day, and you want to just unwind, what do you do when you get home? Switch on a streaming service and then realize it's all woke garbage. If that's the case, we've got the alternative. The answer for you. Salem has stepped up to the plate with truthwarriors.com, the first conservative streaming service that actually has content you will want to watch. Check out today the latest movies from the likes of Dinesh D'Souza, Nick Searcy, the Anthony Fauci, the movie documentary, my programs, Dennis Prager, Charlie Kirk, and so much more. Go to truthwarriors.com. Subscribe today. Use my name for 25% off. That's truthwarriors.com. Promo code RKA. All right, before we go to the much heralded guest we've been trying to get on since I met him again at the convention. Fresh breaking news from President Trump of the National Association of Black Journalists. The first journalist, she was just bloody rude, and the president utterly destroyed her with such style. It was delicious.
You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. The first question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
No, you don't.
Including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and you know, when I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working, or something was wrong.
That's how you do it. And the audience is actually on his side. We've got even more of that. That just happened moments ago. Just too good. Somebody who I can see grinning, appreciating that cut, is my former colleague, former assistant to the president, a free man, a freedom fighter, the one and only Peter Navarro. Peter, welcome back to America First.
That was clinical. I'm telling you, nobody does it better than DJT. I'm telling you. Now.
That is how it is done. Although you're pretty good at it too. So good to see you again. I saw you the day you were released from the political prison that Biden's DOJ put you in. That's us in the gallery at the convention in Milwaukee. So much to discuss. I'm glad we've got you for the rest of the hour. First things first. Describe for us the feeling, Peter Navarro, of stepping out of that Floridian political prison just a few days ago?
I was in a bubble in that prison with respect to the rest of the world. No internet connection. The TVs would be on, but the inmate population was more into like Family Feud and ESPN than, say, I don't know, Fox or CNN. So I had no idea what would happen. Stepped out of the prison. They wouldn't let me out 2 days earlier on my birthday. I get out in the early morning, get on a plane, standing backstage, waiting to get on. There's 5 speakers before me. They get nice stuff like that. I didn't know people even knew who I was, to be honest, Seb. And I walked out on that stage. It was the warmest, loudest thing I've ever heard. And it just, I don't know. It was America to me. And my message that night, Seb, was textured. And one of the things I said was that if we don't control our government,